Today's episode is releasing on my 40th birthday. Woohoo! And I think when we were discussing Southern topics for our fall season, I just gravitated toward today's topic because I feel like a lot of people love having adventures on their birthdays, especially those milestone birthdays. So today we're talking about Southern adventures, mostly from the sky. I'm Lainey. And I'm Laura Beth. And we are Steel Magnolias, the strength of steel with the grace of a magnolia. We are here to have uplifting conversations about life in the South. And we've got plenty of room at our table, so pull up a chair.
Happy birthday, Laura Beth.
Thank you.
Our producer, editor, co-host,
social media manager.
So grateful for that.
And big thanks to you for throwing an amazing surprise party.
I can't believe we pulled it off.
That I was so truly surprised by, and I love surprises. So it was a very pleasant and positive surprise. I know a lot of people don't like surprises, but I love surprises. So,
well, they're hard to pull off, but we did this one.
Well, I could tell y'all had put the work in, and it was a New Orleans theme that was so stinking cute.
Well, we'll have to tell more about it on our Patreon chat this month.
This month's bonus episode that actually comes out on Friday. We'll be discussing.
We'll chat more on that, but it was fun. So happy that we get to celebrate another year of you.
Well, thanks. I appreciate it. And 40's a fun one and a big one.
I loved 40, actually.
And I've heard so many people say that, actually. Mm-hmm. So many that have been very complimentary of their 40th. So big things to look forward to. Well, when we looked at the content calendar for the fall, I naturally wanted to put this topic on my birthday since I saw that it was going to fall on a Tuesday when we release episodes, because I feel like a lot of people, when they hit a milestone birthday, want to jump out of an airplane or
seek adventure.
Yes, they do. And so it just felt,
especially from the sky.
It
does feel like that.
This is the right sort of topic to put on my 40th. So we are talking about adventures that you can have all over the South from the sky in various forms. I actually did celebrate my 30th birthday.
So first off, I can't believe that was 10 years ago. It feels like about 5 years ago to me.
Yeah. So 10 years ago, we went up in a hot air balloon, which
we're going to
wonderful. Talk about a little bit later. So yeah, I have gotten to experience a few of these, but not all of these. And I'm thrill seeker light. I'm not ready to jump out of an airplane.
No bungee jumping or airplane jumping for me.
But a lot of people, that's the number one on their list. That's the number one on their bucket list.
Yeah.
Or even moving up through 70th birthday, 80th birthday, 90th birthday. I mean, there are some seniors jumping out of airplanes, which is crazy to me, but it's happening.
I'm thinking those people have not had to ride in many ambulances in their life, and so they're just,
yeah,
say they feel like everything's safe. I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. No,
yeah, there's question marks all around it. So we'll just start with skydiving. So those planes, they get up to 150 to 160 miles per hour when the door opens. That just blows my mind for you to then jump out. Free falling for several seconds before the chute opens is the biggest quandary I have about how and why people would want to do this.
I'm just shaking my head. I don't even know.
But people want to do it. So we wanted to mention just some fun places that you can do that in the South specifically. If you were to go to skydive from, let's say, Key West, Florida,
okay,
that would be cool because you'd have views of the Florida Keys, the Gulf of Mexico, and the Atlantic Ocean.
That would be awesome.
Okay, so that's all beautiful individually, but then all being able to have that bird's eye view of those three collectively would be so cool. So
especially if you're able to truly take it in. I think I would just be squealing. And so am I even noticing what's down there? Likely not.
That's true.
But if you think your eyes are going to be fully open, that would be a cool place to do it.
That's true because you're kind of doing two things. You're managing your emotions and you're the anxiety and the just level of thrill that you're experiencing
Right.
internally, but then you're trying to also enjoy.
And I'm even like, there is things happening in your body while I've seen just the pictures of a couple of my friends doing it, and their skin was like, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
You know how when you have your hands under a dryer, one
Yes.
of those accelerators, is that what they're called or something?
Yeah.
And your skin, I'm like, oh, I look like I'm 100. My
Yes.
skin's blowing.
Or there's that game now where you put a plastic piece in your mouth to make it really stretched out, and you have to say a phrase or a
This
word.
stuff is happening to
what
your body.
That's what the mouth looks like a lot of times. But yeah.
This is what's happening to your body.
So from skydivekeywest.com, this is how they describe it. After jumping from the plane, you will experience the thrill of falling at speeds of 120 miles per hour or more. Once your chute opens, your dive becomes more peacefully quiet, which that makes sense. Mm-hmm. You will enjoy a 5 to 7 minute ride floating quietly back to earth for a soft pinpoint landing. You may see dolphins.
Oh my gosh.
Tropical birds, 7 Mile Bridge, and all of the middle keys. So those are all the Florida keys is what they're talking about.
That really does sound amazing.
Yeah. So
Can I just do the 7 minutes? No. Can't.
And you get to assist your instructor in the steering of the parachute if you want.
Okay.
Or you can leave your hands free to wave at friends as you land, or, just take in the ride. Some people want to feel like they participated.
Yeah.
That they did the steering for a little bit. If you didn't want to go as far south as Key West, because that is
that's the tip. You're practically to Cuba by that point.
But also just wanted to have more of that tropical sort of experience, you could go to Sebastian, Florida, which is located less than 100 miles southeast of Orlando.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's still south, but not quite as far south as the Keys. Sebastian it's on the east coast of Florida, and they also have a great experience of seeing the beauty of the Atlantic Ocean, Sebastian Inlet, Pelican Island National Wildlife Refuge. That
would be cool.
Really cool, and the Indian River. So that would be a really pretty view as well if you wanted to do some skydiving in Sebastian, Florida. Your friend Sarah and Robbie, that are supporters of this show, they've done it before. They did it in Georgia.
He did it.
No, that's true. Let me back up. He did it, and it was for a big birthday celebration.
Yes. And our friend Leslie did it as well.
That's right.
With Robbie.
That's right. So, we know people that do it.
Sarah and I stay on land.
Yeah. Well,
and cheer our people on.
And I have a couple of friends that have done it so much that they're on, jump 30, 40, 50.
That have trained to. So there is nobody on their back.
Right.
They're doing it now. They've done enough.
That is
next level.
That's big bravery.
That is next level.
Okay, so that's skydiving. Now I wanted to talk a little bit about paragliding, which is also a recreational and adventurous sport. So this
same as hang gliding?
I'm gonna talk about. They are different. They are different.
Okay.
So the Paraglider is lightweight. It's free flying. It's a foot launched glider aircraft with no rigid primary structure. So the pilot sits in a harness or lies in like a cocoon-like speed bag that they call it, suspended below a fabric wing. So paragliding is huge all over the world.
Yeah.
And I do want to make sure and just mention worldwide there are some fantastic spots to do these adventures.
Gosh.
But we're just talking about the South. So that's why I'm just picking out
I saw
Southeast.
This being done in Switzerland.
Exactly.
And I was thinking, okay, I would do that. I'm not jumping out of any planes, but I would do that.
Yeah, if you look at, top 10 places to paraglide worldwide, American South probably isn't going to be on the list. There's worldwide
more dramatic scenery.
Yeah. But since we're a podcast on the South,
it would still be cool.
I just wanted to let people know that you can do it here because I just think people kind of forget that or
Yeah.
don't realize that.
Well,
So,
and a lot of people aren't wanting to go overseas at the moment. So
that's true. So the interesting and I would say appealing thing about paragliding is that it's the glider is so lightweight that it fits in a backpack, and it can weigh anywhere from 25 to 50 pounds depending on the exact equipment that you've chosen. So this is a really practical type of aviation.
gosh, yes.
Right? Like you could fly on an airplane with a paraglider. You can't do that with a hang glider. And I'm going to talk about hang gliding in just a minute. So everything you need fits on your back. And like I said, you can travel easy with it. They're very lightweight. They are dependent on the weather for sure. So
Yeah.
all of these honestly are. I don't know all the measures that you have to consider for skydiving, but all of the ones I'm going to talk about from paragliding and on are very weather dependent. So times of year, times of day, all of that are major factors.
Okay, if you're talking about this, I have to mention something funny. You were talking about weather and paragliding.
Yes.
There is a show on Netflix. It's a Korean show called Crash Landing on You.
Okay.
And it is hard to even describe because it's like some kind of little bit of comedy, lot of romance.
Okay.
But the whole premise of the story is this really rich South Korean girl
Okay.
likes to paraglide.
Okay.
And she ends up in some kind of a storm or tornado or something and doesn't realize that she's landed in a tree in North Korea.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So
that's a
now
problem.
she's in North Korea, and that's how the show begins.
my gosh.
I really enjoyed the show.
Crash Landing on You.
Crash Landing
Okay.
on You. She clearly didn't check the weather before she jumped.
Well, yeah. So pilots' ability to make good decisions is critical in these adventures. So, well, we mentioned hang gliding. So let me just touch base on paragliding versus hang gliding. So one of the most obvious differences is the actual shape of the glider. Okay. So I've already mentioned that paragliding, that actually can fold down. A hang glider cannot.
It's
like a huge kite to me.
Yes.
I mean, that's how I would describe it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang gliders are rigid structures. They have like a sail cloth that's stretched over a metal frame, whereas
It just looks better, though. That's what I think I would want to
stronger.
do. So the difference with the paraglider and the hang glider, I know the hang glider is kind of triangular, kite looking.
Yes,
But what's the paraglide? I know you're sitting, but what's the top look like?
So the paragliding or parasailing is more of an arch.
Okay.
So
yes,
so you've probably, if you haven't seen a paraglider, I feel like most people have at least seen a parasailer attached to a boat.
Yes,
And
I have.
It's just a more softer, rounder arch.
Okay, which could tie up into a backpack.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that leads me to my next point. I have hang glided.
Yes, you have.
And I did it for a friend's birthday. We did hang gliding from Lookout Mountain Flight Park, which is just outside of Chattanooga. It's actually a Georgia address.
Oh, is it? I thought it was Chattanooga.
Yeah.
Okay.
So hang gliding is the feeling of flying like a bird. That's really
what
is.
I want to do.
Because you are flat on your stomach.
Yeah.
Which I didn't realize. I didn't know much about what I was even getting into. I don't know why I didn't Google this.
Did you think you were seated?
I thought I was seated.
Okay.
So, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. So, I went hang gliding 10 years ago at this Lookout Mountain
10 years, okay.
Flight Park, which is a flight school.
Yes.
It's the premier flight school of the Southeast,
That's
actually.
Cool.
Yeah, it's just 20 minutes outside of Chattanooga, and you can paraglide or hang glide there. So like I said, I did hang gliding. It is the perfect mountain view. I would highly recommend it in the fall where the leaves are just gorgeous.
That sounds
in that
so
area.
fun.
They have hotels and places and restaurants and things near the actual flight school in Trenton, Georgia, which is very close to the park. But you can also camp
Okay.
which we did, which was very cool because you can camp really close, not on the landing zone, of course, but very close.
So you're
to
seeing
the landing
others
zone.
coming in.
Yes. Yeah.
That's fun.
So like I said, it's a flight school, so you can actually learn to hang glide. You can learn the basics of launching and landing.
Because you had a person with you,
I
but if you
did.
were on jump number 4 or 5 or 6, you may already have enough hours to
Yes. And
go
that
alone.
that was sort of what they're even, I wouldn't say coaching you in even coming for a first time, but they're wanting people that aren't
to get hooked.
just really seeking a thrill, that
Sure.
are truly interested in the whole sport itself.
Yeah.
And you feel that in just even coming into the office,
Yeah.
they really feel like you're coming for more than just that one visit. So that's interesting too, that people do get hooked, like you said.
Oh.
So you have to go through all the safety measures as you would with any of these, but hang gliding was a lot more paperwork than I have done for other things.
Okay.
So much so, I couldn't help but notice Stairway to Heaven was playing in the office as I'm on page like 7 of my waiver. It's like, do y'all do this? Is this just on a loop, or is this just coincidental?
And what did they say?
I think it was just coincidental. I can't even remember now. But I was thinking, that's just wrong.
Well, that's when I was getting on a cruise ship one time, My Heart Will Go On was on, and I'm like,
No.
probably not the best
No.
song for this situation. I'm not sure about if that, I'm hoping that was coincidence, but
Well, I will say it's special in going to this Lookout Mountain flight park because not all places let you fly tandem, as they call it, as an amateur. Like,
yes.
that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And so mostly only those that are working towards that sort of licensure get to fly. Like I said, they really want you to sort of work towards that professional level.
That's why there was so much signing of
Yes.
paperwork too, because they're covering all their bases
Yes.
as a school.
Yeah.
Which is good. I'm sure they're very safe.
Oh yeah, I felt very safe. You'll be going up about 1,500 or 3,000 feet. Yeah.
Wow.
So just to put that in perspective, 1,500 feet would be taller than the Empire State Building.
Wow.
And that's the lower level. And that's what I did. I felt like I did 2,000. So maybe they've changed it a little since then, or maybe it was 1,500, and I just had in my head that that's pretty much 2,000.
That's pretty far. I can't imagine 3,000. Okay.
So they are, like I said, their hang gliders are aluminums. They're very sturdy. They can weigh between 45 and 90 pounds. So again, they're
just the contraption.
They're massive. They would fly between 20 and 30 miles per hour, and you can reach speeds in excess of 80 miles per hour. I thought this was funny that means they have a glide ratio of up to 16-1. That means they fly 16 feet for every foot of altitude they lose when flying in calm air. Because you go up, and this was the other thing that I was like, I didn't Google this before we came out here, and now I'm kind of freaking out. There's 2 ways to launch. You could launch by prop plane, by a little airplane, like I did, which means you're attached to it by obviously a very sturdy rope. Okay. So you go up with an airplane. They get you to the elevation that you need to be at.
Well, maybe they have changed it and it was 2,000.
And they, then you cut the cord, and then you have that moment of falling before the glide kind of
kicks
catches,
in. Catches the wind.
Yeah.
That's so wild.
So that's pulled up by a airplane is one, and then there are mountain launches.
Yes.
Which is what I saw people preparing to do while I was signing waivers. I was like, we're running and jumping off that cliff. No, thank you. That looked very scary to me. I don't think they do that for amateurs.
Okay, that's once you get further along.
Yeah. So I didn't realize that there were professionals out there. I was just a little overwhelmed when I first drove up the mountain to the office. So it is a glorious experience. Like I said, you're on your stomach. It feels like you're in sort of a sleeping bag because you're in this like cocoon sort of situation.
Okay. With another person on your back. Like y'all are in the sleeping bag together.
You're actually side by side, but it's like one double wide sleeping bag. You are in the same.
Side by side's different though than.
Oh, for sure. So that kind of sleeping bag thing is suspended from the underside of the glider. There's a bar you hold on to that steers.
Yes.
I do remember that because I did do that. I felt like that was very intuitive to me.
Yeah.
Like you pulled in to brake, you pushed out to accelerate.
Okay. Yeah.
And your instructor will let you steer a bit if you want.
That's fun.
Yeah, so they say Tennessee offers some of the best hang gliding in the Southeast, and it does attract a lot of hang gliders here. So
how fun.
I did love spending the night. Okay, so that's hang gliding. I've also done parasailing, which also is adventurous, but like I said, like I don't even think I had to sign a waiver to parasail in the Gulf of Mexico. You know, like this is attached to a boat.
Yes.
This is something you would see probably all day long if you're laying out at the beach.
For sure.
On many parts or
and
areas.
Airplanes going by with the phone number to call to do it.
Yes. Parasail today, half a mile west of this very point.
Yes.
Yeah. So I can honestly, I can't exactly remember how we got started, if you will. Like, I don't remember the whole situation of getting, and I even did this even more recent than some of these other things. I remember getting situated in like a life vest and stuff in the boat. Mm-hmm. But then I guess we just jumped off the back, and then the boat,
that's what I
started
thought.
off.
I thought you
and
were
then
actually in the water.
Yeah.
As if you were going to get up to ski.
But I don't remember it being nearly that hard. Like, I love water skiing, but I still find water skiing very challenging. I don't remember parasailing being hard at all. And I was with a friend, so you don't have to be with an instructor or a professional.
Right. They just strap you in and pull you up.
No waivers. Just put your life vest on. Are y'all 18 and over? Okay, great.
Oh, my gosh.
So it was fun, though. We did it. I did it with a friend in Fort Myers, Florida. So we were seeing beautiful blue waters, and I don't remember seeing anything scary like a shark or anything, but I'm sure people do.
Yeah.
If you're up that high.
Or fun little dolphins.
Or dolphins, yeah.
Jumping around.
But yeah, just really noticed a lot of like, oh, that little area of water is a little darker over there.
Yeah.
It's interesting
where you
to
can see more of the
So yeah, you're kind of like, is that
terrain.
A good thing or a bad thing? So parasailing's really fun, and you can do that just coastal,
any beach,
all over
practically
the South. Yeah. Then I'll mention hot air ballooning, which
so fun.
You and I did. It was so fun for my 30th birthday. I think a lot of people think of hot air ballooning in New Mexico.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Or Napa Valley, which those are going to be glorious experiences. But we have some pretty dang good beauty to show off, especially in the fall here in the South as well. Asheville, North Carolina actually did make, do you say it, Fodor's? The travel.
Oh, Fodor's.
Fodor's.
Yeah.
Fodor's top list of best places in the U.S. to go hot air ballooning.
Okay.
Asheville, North Carolina made it, which makes sense. The Great Smoky Mountains are the perfect backdrop for hot air ballooning. In Asheville, they have launching sites shifting each day according to weather and wind currents, which was a huge factor for us.
Sure was.
Ours actually got canceled, if you remember.
I do. The first one did. And that's also why I think they like to go real early in the morning.
Yes. Yes, sunrise or sunset are basically your options.
Yeah.
I thought I wanted a sunset ride, but we did sunrise, and I'm so glad we did. Apparently, winds are more predictable
in the morning
or around sunrise or sunset. And like the thermal conditions are more predictable. All the things that,
well, we want everything to be right.
Yeah.
When you're going up in the air with no strings attached.
Exactly. So we took off from Leapers Fork, Tennessee, which is just down the road from us here in Franklin. Were you surprised that we were involved in the setup?
Yes.
Because I didn't know we were going to do that. But I also
makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Because it's not like that they're going to bring a staff out to do that. Right. So it makes perfect sense. But it did surprise me a little bit.
And it was cold.
It was very cold.
October's unpredictable for weather, especially here in Tennessee. So you can have some real hot days and some real chilly days. And especially early in the morning, even on a hot day, it may have been very cool that morning. And so
we had gloves, scarves, jackets, the whole deal.
They just stretched out the fabric of the balloon as wide as they could on this massive field, turned on a big old fan.
Yep, to blow it up.
And
it really is kind of amazing when you think about it.
Yeah. So there we were, just kind of helping the air get into
the circle
fabric.
Yeah.
Holding it up as, it took you and I on each side. If I can find a video of us doing that,
holding it up.
Absolutely post that this week. Because I'd never even seen anyone do the setup. So I didn't know what to expect. And then of course, once it's getting up to where it's almost the basket's starting to tilt, the instructor or professional that we were with that was going to be our pilot torched the flame, to kind of get that thermal air in there.
Yes.
And that was even like, oh my gosh, do I have eyebrows anymore?
Right.
It's just so powerful.
Shooting out. Yeah.
So that was just even really amazing to be a part of. So I would say to anyone, if this doesn't interest you at all, it's still cool to go see
somebody else go up.
Yes.
Yeah. But it was so fun.
We had 4 adults in our basket, plus
and then
the
the guide. Yeah.
Which I
the
think
pilot.
Would have been
that's right. Better name.
The most you could get in
that basket. I think there are bigger baskets.
Bigger?
Yeah.
Okay. Were you surprised about the quietness?
So surprised.
Yeah.
So peaceful.
Animals. Didn't we hear some animals?
Okay, so that was one thing I wanted to mention is, a lot of dogs don't like hot air balloons when they go over.
So scary. Yeah.
When you're in one, you're experiencing that too, where the dogs are barking. You can, because you're not up so far that you can't see. You can see the dogs barking. But because we were in Leaper's Fork, there were horses that were kind of circling. They were not real peaceful. They were kind of stirring, like they don't like the sound of that fire. And that's what makes the most noise, is every once in a while it shoots the fire.
Yes, that occasional torch.
Yeah, and that sound, was kind of setting off the dogs and horses. But it was so fun. Do you remember that I texted a friend because I didn't realize we were going to be going over her house.
And I'm sure the pilot doesn't exactly know the course either. Like they probably have a range that they know they're going to stay in. But that torch is what's even changing the course. It's kind of helping you either go up or down or change your course direction a little. Yeah, so they couldn't tell us exactly where we were going.
And he has a cohort that drives a van that meets, so he has to kind of say to his other person, drive the van here, this is where we're going to land.
Yes.
For pickup and all of that. But yeah, it was so cool because you were getting, a bird's eye view, if you will, of the houses and the landscape and the, we went by the Natchez Trace Bridge.
I know,
that was so cool.
But you could almost talk to your friend. She was
waving.
She
was waving, and
you could scream a hello.
Yeah.
You couldn't have a full dialogue.
Right.
But that even blew my mind because you can typically reach altitudes of up to 2,000 feet with hot air balloons. So I don't know exactly where we were at in that day, but I was surprised.
Now this brings me to a question. I remember taking a few pictures up there. Well, I had my camera. I was taking tons of pictures. But of their house area. Yeah. And I was thinking, this would be so helpful whenever they get ready to sell their house.
Yeah.
Because were drones a thing 10 years ago?
Probably not. If they were, then they weren't.
They were
as
just
easily accessible.
Yeah. So, because I thought that was kind of a cool thing I was going to have for her,
Yeah.
And now everybody has drone pictures. Yeah. But anyway.
Well, we got to ride for about an hour, and then we landed in a field. And as you were mentioning, there was a van that had been following us.
And I didn't know if the landing was going to be rough. You know what I mean? Is this whole basket going to pound and fall over, and we're all going to be on top of each other? It was so peaceful.
So peaceful. Yeah. That's funny you mentioned that because back to just real quick on the hang gliding, when I watched several people that were just still learning to land that hang glider in that landing zone where we were camping, I did see one person sort of overcorrect and have a little nosedive, if you will.
Like their nose, or
And their nose really did dive. Like
Oh,
he had a
no.
bloody nose when he came up. So it is very much a skill to land
have a
these
soft
landings.
landing. Yeah.
But yeah, our hot air balloon was very peaceful, very easy. We had mimosas after.
So
just to
fun.
sort of
That's like,
cap off
that's
the-
kind of a thing with hot air balloons.
Yeah.
Is I think you're supposed to have a, champagne celebration at the end.
Yes. So we went through Middle Tennessee hot air balloon. I can link to any of these vendors that
I
I've
still
mentioned.
remember his name was Logan.
Yeah, he was amazing. They'd gotten some national press, which I was really proud of them for doing that. So they are very much professional, and I felt very safe.
Yeah,
in
for
that.
sure.
So just to close out, I wanted to mention a couple of ways that you can participate in these ways in an even more, I would say, safer way. Lots of times festivals will have hot air balloon rides tethered.
Yes.
So I don't have like a specific place to tell
Not
you to
near
go
as
to
cool
do
because
that.
I did that one time. But
Okay, so
it
you've
is
done
a
that.
taste.
Okay.
It gives you a taste of
Okay.
going up, but it's not not as good.
I know, but if you're that afraid,
yeah,
to
or you
go-
have like a little kid that
to
wants
go
to
up,
yeah.
and you're really wanting to at least get a little taste of it, I feel like that's the best
You're right.
sampler
That's true.
you can get. So look for a festival that's having a hot air balloon that's going to be tethered. It's probably just as expensive as going on a ride. I don't know. And then there are places I know in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, probably others as well, that have just like a simulation of skydiving. That you're not skydiving.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes,
So
they have that in Vegas too.
Okay, so
Yes.
they basically blow the jet
Now,
kind of air.
yes,
You're in gear.
I think that sounds
so that you can get that kind of
feeling.
rush of I don't know exactly how all that works, but I just wanted to mention there's kind of sort of shortcut ways that you could get a little bit of the experience without having to put your life on the line.
Just
so.
a half a thrill, not a full thrill.
That's right. So those are some adventures from the sky.
There's so much when we dove into this topic. I'm like, we could do other adventure episodes on
for
other
sure.
things.
On land and
Yes.
water and
Yes.
there's more to come, but those are for the thrill-seeking milestone birthday celebrators out there. So.
I love it.
Well, we hope that this brought you some joy and maybe even got you some ideas if you've got a birthday coming up.
Monumental birthday coming, or just any birthday.
That's right. Or just want to do something fun for your fall.
Carpe diem.
That's right.
Peace be with you, Larbeth.
And also with all y'all.